Hi guys, I'm Sonal and welcome to my channel. Today I'm making another of my favorite keto recipes. It's Andhra chicken fry. So it's such a perfect keto recipe because there's no onions and no tomatoes, and it still has a mild gravy, so you can make kind of a masala and eat it with some kind of bread if you're eating. But on keto this is perfect because you can make it dry or you can leave some masala with it, and it's a perfect keto dish. So let's go ahead and see how we make it. So here I'm doing the basic marination for our Andhra chicken. This is a heaped teaspoon of garlic paste. This is about half a teaspoon of ginger paste. I have taken half a kg of drumsticks. So to that I'm going to add this is 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So I'm adding 1.5 of these. Some ghee. So this is again about a teaspoon of ghee. Also I'm adding turmeric and chili powder. Half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and this is about another half a teaspoon of chili powder. And I'm also adding some like a 1/4 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder because Andhra chicken is really spicy and red in color, so you want to get the color from the Kashmiri red chili powder. I'm mixing all this properly, and then I'm going to add the chicken drumsticks to this and let it marinate overnight. So I've added half a kg of drumsticks to it, and I'm going to nicely put the masala on the drumsticks. If you see, I have put slits in all the drumsticks just so that the masala will penetrate inside and marinate the drumsticks properly. So I'm going to do this. There's a lot more masala which is going to be applied. There's a lot more masala which will be added while cooking the chicken. So this is just the marinade. So this is the chicken that we marinated yesterday with ginger, garlic, red chili, turmeric, some ghee, salt and lemon juice, and it was in the fridge overnight. Let me talk about the spices. Let me start the gas, and in the meanwhile, when the pan is heating, I'm going to talk about the spices that we are using today. So what we have here is, I have fennel seed and coriander powder. This is Garam Masala. It's my homemade Garam Masala, but like I always say, you can use whichever masala that you like. This is desiccated dry coconut, and this is cashew powder and some black pepper. I put all the ingredients in the description and also on the screen. And this is 2 sprigs of curry leaves, which is very important to give it the typical taste, and 1 green chili. So let's start the recipe. I'm going to use ghee here. We're adding about 4 tablespoons of ghee. I'm going to add green chilies. Again, we are cutting big pieces so that whoever doesn't like it can take it out. Now the green chilies are spluttering a bit. I'm going to add my curry leaves. Curry leaves give such a different fragrance, and it's so irreplaceable. It's very typical of the South Indian food, and Andhra chicken is from the south of India, so that's the reason I'm using so much of the curry leaves. In Marathi food and Gujarati food, you use a lot less, and whereas in Punjabi or North Indian food it's not used at all. You want the curry leaves to be almost crisp. I'm going to start adding my chicken now. The masala I'm going to add later. I'm going to just cook the chicken on all sides and then cover it up and let it cook. For all these kind of dishes, you can use a non-stick pan if you're okay with that. It's much easier to cook in a non-stick, I want to admit that. But I avoid non-stick because the non-stick surface leaches into the food, and that's the reason I don't use it. But if you're okay using that, then for such dishes you should be using a non-stick. A lot of the restaurant dishes have red food coloring added to it, and that's the reason they have that typical red color to their dish. But since I don't use food coloring, I'm going to let it cook the way it is. But if you like to get the typical color, then you could add a little more of the color, food coloring, or even using a lot more of Kashmiri chili can help you. I don't make it that spicy, as my kids don't eat very spicy. But you could do that to get the typical taste and the color. I'm adding the leftover masala from the marinade. And I'm going to cover it and let it cook now. And there you go. Now I've flipped the chicken. The brown bits are going to separate once I add a little bit of water, and it's all going to form a lovely masala. I'm going to add some water. About 1/4 of a cup of water. And we're finally going to dry it all. So let's give it 5 more minutes. So it's been 5 more minutes. Let's take a look. Look at all the masala. Now I'm going to add the leftover 1/4 cup of water just to deglaze the pan. And now that I add the rest of the dry spices, I don't want the spices to burn, and that's the reason I just put a little bit of water. Now I'm going to add the rest of the spices. So this is fennel seeds and coriander seed powder. This is our Garam Masala. This is black pepper. And this is some desiccated coconut. And we have cashew paste, and we have cashew powder left, but that we are going to add in the end. So let's mix up everything. Also, I want to check if my chicken is completely cooked. This is perfect for me. And at this point, I'm going to just add my cashew powder. I'm going to switch off the gas because there's a lot of heat already. I want to add the cashew powder now. Gives it the restaurant kind of taste. That's all. And mix it all up. And before I eat it, I'm going to add lemon juice to it, or lime juice, whatever. So there you go. The dish is ready, and doesn't it look great? So we have a pan full of masala here, and let me show you what I do with it sometimes. So here I have some washed oyster mushrooms, and I'm going to just rip them apart like that into the smallest pieces possible. So here I have some washed oyster mushrooms, and I'm going to just rip them apart like that into the smallest pieces possible. I'm gonna add my mushrooms here. About half a teaspoon of salt. I'm switching off the gas, and in the end I'm just going to add some butter to this. If you don't want to eat butter, you can just leave it as it is and it still tastes warm. If you don't eat butter, you can leave it out and it'll still, if you don't eat butter, you can just leave it out and it'll still taste yum. So it's my favorite part of the video, the tasting. And here's my chicken leg. I've added a generous amount of lime juice to it, and I'm going to go ahead and taste it now. Really good. It's nice and spicy and also hot to a certain extent. So if you don't eat such hot food, you can tone down on the chili a little bit. But give this recipe a try, I'm sure you'll like it. Now I'm going to go ahead and taste my mushrooms. So let me wash my hands quickly. So this is the mushroom dish, oyster mushroom dish that I made right in the pan of the chicken. It tastes almost as good as the chicken because the oyster mushrooms are already a little meaty tasting, and then we cooked it exactly in the same masala because it was from the leftover chicken. It also had the taste from the chicken, and probably that's why it tastes even better than I had expected. You know what, this would taste good even with a little bit of cream in the end. So you can either add butter or cream or leave both out and it's still going to taste just as good. So give this recipe a try and let me know in the comments how it turned out for you. If you liked my video, click the like button and subscribe to my channel for many more videos like that. Thanks for watching. Bye.